Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we are back. It's just the two of us this week. We got plenty to talk about, so let's get right into it. Checked out this week. I watched a little bit of A Man on the Inside. This is the new Ted Danson comedy. This is on Netflix. This is interesting, right? This is done by Michael Schur, which you probably know a few things he's done. The Office, Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Good Place. He was also a producer on Master of None. Basically, this dude doesn't miss. Like it's been a little insane. And you know what? A Man on the Inside, also very good. The premise here is Ted Danson is like a retiree, right? And he, his wife died a number of years ago, and he's like a former college professor, right? So he's kind of like a AJ squared away kind of guy. And his daughter and her grandchildren all like, they're like, what are we doing? Like, what's grandpa doing? Right. He's like real by the book. He doesn't, he cuts out articles out of a newspaper and mails them to her. And he's like, oh, this is an interesting article. Like, he's like that kind of an old man, right? He just doesn't have anything to do, right? He's very routine based. And she's like, look, you need to like take a course, like get a little job, like something. Like, you got to do something with your time. And meanwhile, this private investigator is hired to like look into, at least this part in the series, look into somebody stealing this like necklace from their from somebody, right? And so this private investigator is hired to do this, but the necklace was stolen from a person's mother inside this like nursing community or nursing home. And so obviously the PI can't go in there because they're like 30 years old and they stick out like a sore thumb, right? So she puts an ad in a newspaper for this like a retiree aged man who is like quote unquote at first she writes good with technology, and then she realizes like they're old men, so they're terrible with it. So she's like has a phone. Like that's what ends up. And so he sees the ad and he's like, all right, I'll go in for this. Like, let's see what this is. And like he's like really affable and just like kind of a fun, nice guy. And she basically teaches him how to be this like little private investigator kind of spy. And so he then is put into this nursing home under the auspices of like him actually needing to be there and everything else. And he kind of enjoys being there because like he's around older people his age, like, but at the same time he's supposed to be this like private eye. Like Ted Danson still has it. Like he's actually very funny. And it's a really adorable show. It's very good. If you like, you watch Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah,
I feel like this is very similar to that. Like sort of an aging, comedy actor or comedian, like just kind of still got it and like is still able to put together good stories and it's fun and it's enjoyable. It's not too lame. But it is kind of dorky, right? Like it's like The Office and all of those other things. Like it's not a one shot or like a one camera shot type of thing, but it is. It just has that same sort of good vibes comedy feel to it. It's actually very funny though. It's very good. So A Man on the Inside, I definitely recommend.
Okay.
And it's only 8 episodes. At least. I think it's 8 episodes maybe so far, or no, I think it's just the first season is 8 episodes. My guess is it'll get renewed. But yeah, it was very good. So let's see. Next up, I did watch Creature Commandos. This is James Gunn's.
So did I.
Okay, I only had a chance to watch the first episode. I haven't seen the second. Have you seen the second one yet?
Yeah, I saw the second one. They're like 20 minutes. They're super short, and I was like, oh, okay. I was pleasantly surprised by that. And yeah, you're really gonna like the second episode. Damn, I rushed you. Damn.
I didn't have a chance today to watch.
You're gonna like the second episode. You are a fan of The Bride, I would presume.
Yeah.
Well, are you a fan of the character or are you a fan of the actor? Or both?
Who's the actress?
Who's the actor? The actor is someone right up your alley. How about that?
Hold on, let me to the Wikipedias.
She has been in Game of Thrones. She played she was the Viper's sister.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. All right. We're done here. Good Lord. Yeah. Look, this could be live action as far as I'm concerned. And
well, isn't that kind of the point, right? Like that's why that character looks kind of like her, right? Like
she was on Game of Thrones, and oh man, she's super fun too. Yo. Like she's like, she is a super good looking woman. Oh, that's right. She was in a movie called Kama Sutra: A Tale of Love. I've never seen it, but I need to. She was in Dead Reckoning. Good Lord.
I think she was the voice of the AI in Dead Reckoning.
Okay, all right. She didn't show her face in that trash.
Yeah, she didn't show her face in that.
Look, yeah, man, so far I like it.
So yeah, it's pretty good. You know, it's James Gunn doing James Gunn stuff, right? Take a bunch of Z-listers,
yeah,
and you know, make them and found family, right? Like he's really good at that. The first episode does a pretty good job of kind of, you know, laying the foundation. Like they don't spend too much time. They do the Suicide Squad thing of this person, this is Katana, right? Like they do all that in like the first couple of minutes. So that
and they also let you know it's connected to the last Suicide Squad too. By the way,
yeah, all that stuff is we're in it. Right? We're in it. Like he said his idea for the DC universe is more like Star Wars than Marvel, in that Star Wars, a lot of different things are happening, but it is one universe, right?
Right.
Whereas Marvel is telling, at least in the beginning, was telling a somewhat linear story.
Right.
And he's like, no, let's just treat this like the universe that it is, right? Like across the world, you don't know what's going on, you know, in Kuala Lumpur right now, right?
And I like that idea. Actually, I think it's smart.
I think it's great. I think it's smart. But yeah, Creature Commandos is really good. Man, that second episode, like James Gunn, I appreciate his like, just not his lack of fucks, but his like outright disdain for the things that he doesn't like.
That's right.
You know,
I love that about him.
And he's like, yeah, fuck. I saw he did an interview on IGN, and someone on IGN was like, hey, do you think you might be offending, you know, some people? That he's like, what, offend Nazis? Am I afraid that I'm going to offend Nazis? No, I'm not afraid that I'm going to offend the Nazi contingent of the DC fandom or whatever. Like, who cares? Like, fuck them and fuck those like incels, right? Because there's an incel gang in the first episode.
Yeah. Why did the women get their own island? Shut up. I mean,
man,
I love G.I. Robot is hilarious. I can't wait to kill more Nazis. I love killing Nazis. Fuck Nazis. It's like, yeah, he's just like, in case you missed it. Like it's a lovely way he does it. I love it.
Is this guy a dirty Nazi? Like, all right, bro. I really wish you watched the second episode. The second episode is really, really good. I won't spoil too much, but I think the second episode is better than the first. It is basically the origin story of the bride.
Okay.
And it's very, very good. And that's where a lot of the action takes place. And you know, this is why I like animation, right? Like there's a fight between two characters and it looks great, right? Like the show is animated well. The style is the style, but
I was going to ask
animation.
You like that animation style? I don't mind it.
I don't mind it. Like it's not ugly. And they kind of look like their acting counterparts a little bit. if you squint, right? Um, but the fluidity of the animation is very good,
Yeah.
and that's what I can appreciate. Like you know, your style is your style, but if it looks choppy, no matter what your style looks like, if your animation is choppy, like it's not going to look good. But no, this is it. This is kind of hitting. I'm enjoying it. It's not like it's a nice little like entry point into this, right? Like I'm
Boosh,
not blown
boosh.
away by this, right?
Yeah, boosh, boosh of the DC universe.
Right. Like I'm not blown away by it, you know what I mean? But it is a decent like okay, all right, I think I can hop on this train, right? Like I think I'm picking up I'm about to pick up what you're putting down.
Yeah, I
And
mean, like it is nice. I'm actually glad that this is the start, because like Superman is, I mean, it's obviously like the movie start. It's like the start, right? But giving people this nice kind of easy entry into the DCU, and if you don't watch it, that's okay, right? Like this sort of easy entry in, and you're like, oh, Gunn's doing DC stuff now, right? And obviously you saw Peacemaker or you know of it, but you're like, oh, this is the new world, and it's kind of things are moving. It's a nice like entry point, and I think that's smart. And to your point, like, yeah, it's Gunn doing Gunn things. Like, here's a bunch of fucking losers you've most likely never heard of. But it's also a really good cast. Like, it really is. Like Indira Varma, hello. You know, Sean Gunn, his brother, playing GI Robot and Weasel, which is perfect for him. Look, Dr. Phosphorus, played by Alan Tudyk, excellent choice. Alan
I mean
Tudyk,
that guy needs more work, yo. That guy
Alan
needs
Tudyk
more
is
work.
great. Like he's awesome. Um, you know, so it is kind of nice to see him back. I mean, he played Clayface apparently in Harley Quinn as well.
Yeah. And
So
the Joker.
oh, was he the Joker in that?
I think he was the Joker. I
Oh, that's
think
nice.
so.
I didn't realize
Don't
that.
quote me, but I think he was the Joker.
Nice. And so yeah, like I'm down for that. I'm very interested to see David Harbour like when they fully get into Frankenstein, or excuse me, Eric Frankenstein. And look, I like Frank Rio as Rick Flag Sr. That seems to work for me as well. So all right, like I think it's a good team, and I like that they're all like just a bunch of like fucking wackadoo weirdos. And I'm glad of all of the things that have ever happened with the DCU, people were smart enough to be like, yo, we got Viola Davis to be in these movies. I don't care if we reboot the shit 37 times. She's staying. And that's smart. That's real smart. Hopefully they'll finally give her something to do. And it appears like with Peacemaker and now with this, they're actually giving her like real like character development, which I think is a bright point.
It's sorely needed for that character because that character gets a lot of short shrift. Like Amanda Waller is interesting, and she's like a hard ass for a reason. Like she wasn't always like this. She wasn't always the wall. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it'd be nice to kind of see flashes of that. I'm not saying like I need an Amanda Waller movie or anything like that, but
yeah, that would be quite silly.
Yeah, but like when you have an actor the caliber of Viola Davis, like you gotta use that actor, man.
Right. Yeah. So far so good. Like I really don't have any I don't have anything negative to say about it. Just quickly, speaking of animation, I saw Moana 2. I'm gonna say something that should not be controversial. Disney songs are fucking terrible. Okay? And I know there's a lot of like potential Disney adults like, no, but I really like. No, all the songs that you like are probably awful. They're probably boring and they all sound the same. In my opinion, there is one bright spot before Encanto when it comes to music in Disney movies, and that is, I mean, there's a few in Aladdin, obviously, like that is pretty memorable. But even those songs still just sound like white people sing, like a white woman singing on a mountaintop. Is all I ever hear, like in my opinion. But you got You got "I'll Make a Man Out of You" from Mulan, which is a solid fucking song. Ironically, a movie about a Chinese warrior. That song, absolutely great. Donny Osmond did that song, which is just hilarious.
Yeah.
But he fucking killed it. Like he did. He just fucking killed it. It was awesome. But up until that point, all of Disney's music, for the most part, maybe I would exclude The Princess and the Frog, because that was like very jazz oriented in New Orleans, which was fucking excellent. But all of the other music all was like, I'm a white woman on a hill. Like it all sounded like that, right? Whether she was a white woman with ice powers or a Native American woman being treated like garbage by white people in the New World, like they all sounded the same, right? The bright spot was Lin-Manuel Miranda doing the soundtrack for Encanto. Why? Because they put drums in it. That's why. It is music of brown people, and it sounded fucking great, right? That's why there's not just one hit song from Encanto. There are several, right? Like, quite literally, you can listen to that soundtrack and you're like, oh, that's a good song, that's a good song, and that's a good song. Like, there's a ton of them, right? I say all that to say that when Moana came around, Lin-Manuel Miranda did the music for that as well. The music for that movie is very good for the same reason. Lin-Manuel Miranda did not do the music for Moana 2. And it is extremely fucking obvious. Yeah, all of the music is, I'm a brown person on a mountaintop. Like, it all sounds the same. It sounds bland and boring as fuck. They even tried to give The Rock another song of like he did the You're Welcome song, and that was fun as shit in the first one. The one they tried to do in this one, lacking as fuck. Why? Because you didn't have a guy of his caliber writing that music. It like you can feel it. It is the most obvious thing in that movie. Story is fine. It's pretty enjoyable. There's some. I heard
it's pretty much just a retread of the first one with worse music.
Worse music, and like they give her a couple of sidekicks that go on the voyage with her, right? Yeah, it's like I don't blame The Rock for it. Like it's just it feels like a rehash. They I mean, boy, do they just like really throw it up like there's a Moana 3. You're like, yeah, okay, we know money. It's perfect. It's fine. It's fine. But the biggest tell of that movie is that the music sucks. Like if you're gonna do Moana 3, that's fine, whatever. I'll be forced to see it in theaters, which is fine for me. But you need to bring Lin-Manuel Miranda back. You just do. You do. Like that dude's music, his ability to write songs across the entire brownosphere of the planet, he's really good at it. He's just really good. And I get the idea of like you don't want it all to sound samey, like by bringing in the same guy. But the problem is, no matter who you bring in outside of him, it all sounds samey, but in the worst way possible. Which is not to say like, you know, Adele Dazeem or whatever the fuck her name is didn't sing the shit out of the song in Frozen. It just sounds like a really good rendition of all the other Disney princess songs. Like it just does. Yeah. Music, not good. It stunk.
I mean, couldn't you argue that is Disney's? I think that's the thing that, you know, most Disney fans like, right? Like that is the hero song, right? The hero song, which is the song that the princess sings, and the villain song, right? The everyone loves the villain song.
Is there a villain? I don't think there is a villain song in this one.
Really?
No, there's not one.
That stinks, man. Yeah, like I love Disney villain songs. I love Disney villain songs because like, one, you're right. They're not just like, you know, bold declarations of womanhood, right? Not that there's anything wrong with a bold declaration of womanhood. I'm not a woman. Right. I'm not a woman. I can't get into it.
Right. But you can have bold declarations of womanhood or what have you. But I don't know, get a nigga in there with some percussions. Like it's something, man. But Encanto did it. Encanto did it with no fucking problem, but they made it interesting and fun. Like just the music is just better. Like he's just a better writer. So yeah.
But I think that's just kind of I think that's a style, right? I think that's, you know.
I'm sorry.
I like Colors of the Wind, and I like and we my wife likes A Whole New World so much that it was played as we were leaving our wedding, right? Like as we were, You May Kiss the Bride, and then A Whole New World from the string quartet was playing, and it was it's wild. But yeah, no, I know what you mean, because like once in Canton, like you can tell when Lin-Manuel Miranda is on something, right? Because everyone starts singing like this, and then they start talking like this, and it's like,
no, look, I look again.
I kind of like it. I kind of like
the thing. I'm not mad if someone says that they all sound the same. You're probably right, but that doesn't mean they're not good, right? Like,
right.
I'm sorry, man. Like, yo, they did a live version,
man.
Look, I don't know if you've ever seen it. You have small children too. Have your kids ever watched the live singing version of Encanto that's on Disney Plus, where they did like a live performance? Yo, that shit is like really good, and they get the actors from the movie to do the music live. Nigga, it's amazing. Like, it's amazing, and it's because it's so good, and the music is so good. They did a whole show. It's not even, they're not doing the movie. They just do the music from the movie. All of it. It's that good. They ain't doing that shit for fucking Frozen. That shit's boring. Get out of here. Like, you get the Let It Go song, and then like reindeers are better than people. That song's not good. Get out of here. Right? So yeah, no, the music is 100% lacking. Just bring them back. Just bring it back. Look, I'm fine. You can do another movie. Like, there's way too many songs, by the way. That's also a problem. Like, the music isn't very good. And then they're like, and we're going to double down on how many songs. I'm like,
oh, you know what that means? That means story is lacking, bro. That's what that means.
They need like, the guy behind the camera. He's like, add another song, right? There's like a weird amount of songs. Like, they're singing again? What the fuck? Like, come on, this is ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Like, I don't need a Moana 3 if you're not going to bring Lin-Manuel Miranda back. If you're going to bring him back, that's cool. I'll see it. But it's just no thanks. Nah, I need y'all to brownify this a little bit better on the soundtrack. Like, it stinks.
That's funny.
Yeah, the rock song they tried to do, like the song.
You would think that because I know the Rock is biracial, but he is coded more Polynesian than black, which I have no problem with. I think those people need to be recognized in something other than professional wrestling, right?
All of them
right, and they're all related apparently, except for Samoa Joe. And you would think that like he would really try to push for like Polynesian acts and Polynesian singers, and maybe they do. I don't know. I don't know, but I don't know, man. I would really try to put those people on. That's my advice to you, multi-millionaire who needs no advice from me. Try to put your people on.
I mean, he tried to in that what was it, Hobbs and Shaw shit? Like, he had like Roman Reigns.
He did.
Yeah, he had a bunch of them in there, right? So yeah, I mean, he does.
Reigns in there.
Yeah, I just it's a no for me, dog. Like I was wildly unimpressed by the music. They tried to like remix in some of the songs from the first one. I was like, yeah, y'all know this shit sucks. Like, you tried. I hear you. You do what you got to do.
What can I say except please like this
like, again
version of it? Like, all right, yeah.
Like they tried to do like this is how they realized like shit was lacking. In Encanto, like the song "Surface Pressure," where like it's the Lisa, like the fucking strong sister, and that whole sequence, right? It's like fantastic, right? There's like disappearing characters and stuff. It's just like a dream sequence type of thing. They did almost the exact same thing for the Rock song, and I was like, this isn't Surface Pressure. Get out of here! Like they were trying to like capture that same feel. It's like, yeah, you know what the difference is? Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote that. Like, and whoever wrote this is not Lin-Manuel Miranda. Like, nah, it's not good. So yeah, Moana 2, it's fine, but the music sucks. All right, you watch Secret Level. I don't know what this is.
Secret Level is
Sylvester
you remember
Clever.
you remember Love, Death, and Robots
Mm-hmm.
from Tim Miller? This is kind of like a spiritual sequel to that, only with video game properties.
Oh, I have heard of this. Okay, yeah,
Yes, yes. You wouldn't like this. I don't think you would like this at
no,
all.
no, that's why I didn't watch it.
Because you don't really
I don't
play
respect
video games. It's weird this because like some of these they put the first 8 episodes out. There are 15 in total.
It's
First
on
8
Netflix.
came out this
Oh,
week.
Amazon.
Prime.
Yeah.
First 8 came out this week. The next 8 will come out next week. So I'll talk about those if I like them. And I enjoyed this, but I think your mileage may vary depending on the property that they are kind of handling.
Mega Man.
If you were to watch one of them, one of these original 8, these first 8, I think you would probably like Sifu, because there's very little plot and there's a lot of martial arts fighting. And it's choreographed pretty well, and it's in the art style of the game, which is the case for a lot of these. My favorites are Sifu, Pac-Man. Believe it or not, they pull out a story out of Pac-Man, and it's some like Black Mirror shit, bro. Like it's
okay.
it's very very interesting. And I like the Warhammer story, but I'm getting into Warhammer, so I think that's why I like it. And Unreal Tournament was kind of cool. Some of the other ones, like Dungeons and Dragons, the Dungeons and Dragons episode, um, you know, that's just a 20-minute showcase of like action. The one starring Arnold Schwarzenegger for a game that I've never heard of called New World. I like it. It's actually pretty funny. It's kind of like it's kind of like a live, die, repeat kind of thing.
Okay.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger's in it. Like, who the fuck don't like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, Arnold. Yeah, I like the majority of these.
Has the Mega Man
animation?
one?
No, the Mega Man one's not out yet. I'm very interested in that
Whatever.
like who don't like Mega Man?
Yo, I love
right?
Mega Man. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time.
Yeah. Pac-Man, like I said, Pac-Man was wild. You know that Pac-Man used to be called, in Japan, he's called Puck-Man, but they changed the name and when it came to the West. You know why, right? Because they didn't want people defacing arcade cabinets, turning the P into an F to call it Fuck-Man. So they were like, just call it Pac-Man.
Fair enough. I mean,
I
they
get
know
it.
us. Man, they're not wrong.
And there are a couple here that are just like generic, like Army Man stuff, but this is pretty good if you are into animation and you are into video games. If you like Love, Death, and Robots, you'll probably like this. This is like Love, Death, and Robots with like worse storytelling for a lot of these. But if you like looking at like cool shit, like looking at pretty things blow up, it's not bad. It's not great. Each episode runs anywhere from 7 to 20 minutes, so it doesn't take long to kind of get through.
Okay.
And I'm actually interested in maybe half of the ones, like Concord. I'm curious about. That hasn't come out yet. Mega Man, I'm curious about. PlayStation. I mean, I don't know what they can do. And the Outer Worlds, I'm interested about.
What's the one with Kratos? Is that just in the PlayStation?
Maybe that's the PlayStation one. I didn't know Kratos was going to be in this. Maybe that's just a all things PlayStation episode. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought I saw him in a quick flash in this trailer. So
Yeah, that's probably it then. So who don't want old man Kratos? Who don't like old man Kratos? Everyone does.
cool.
Um,
It looks dope. I mean, the animation looks fun. I don't know. Storytelling is a different conversation altogether. Obviously.
yeah, it's hit or miss. But they pull a story out of Pac-Man. So, and
You never
it's
can tell.
it's wild. Like it's it's very amusing. One thing that you should watch is The Day of the Jackal on
I'm very excited to see this.
Peacock. Man, my wife was telling me, "Oh, you should watch it. You should watch. We should." She said, "We should watch it." And I said, "All right." And I looked at the trailer. Said, "All right, we can watch it." And then she went ahead and watched it without me.
Streeting.
And that's what she does. That's what she does.
Filthy
And and I saw her. One of her friends on Facebook was like, "This show is so good," and then she commented, "Yeah, I tried to get Micah to watch it, but he's not watching it." And I'm like, "What the fuck, yo? Like, don't throw me out there like that. You started it without me. You left me." And I said, "Look, you want to watch Squid Game with me? Still time to catch up, right? Still time to catch up." She ain't gonna watch it because you got to read. And
put on
and
like
she just,
let's put on fucking a dub.
that's fine.
Sacrifice
And
for your wife, you fucking miserable asshole.
I don't mind watching dubs. I don't have a problem with dubs, but she's like, "Okay, I'll make a deal with you. I will watch Squid Game if you watch Day of the Jackal." So I said, "All right, you're lying,
What?
but I'll watch Day of the Jackal."
I was like, that's not hard. Day of the Jackal looks good. You're like, I
Right.
would watch that anyway.
Right. So I started watching it, and look, I am with TV, man. I don't binge TV anymore. Like, I prefer movies to television. The Day of the Jackal is like 10 episodes, and they're an hour long. And I watched 3 the first day, and then 4 the second day.
Oh shit! Wow. Okay, is that good?
Yeah. This show is very, very good, man. This show is
I'm-
very, very good.
You know what I'm
It's
mad about though? I'm mad it's on Peacock. Like that's because it won't get the amount of eyes that it probably deserves.
Well, the issue is it already got picked up for a second series, right?
Oh, okay.
And the reason it did is because because I'm like, on Peacock. These people made that John Wick prequel. Like, what the fuck do they know about? But the thing is, this show is a British-based show that they bought. They bought the rights to.
Oh, okay. All right.
This show is so good.
That makes sense.
That's why this show is good. That's why the show is violent. That's why this show has cursing. Yo, this is right up my alley, man. It's political espionage. It's Lashana Lynch plays this MI6 agent who's a firearms expert. And she's trying to track down Eddie Redmayne's character, who calls himself the Jackal, this international fucking assassin. And he's Agent 47, right? Like, before Agent 47 was a thing, right? He uses all these different disguises and shit. And this show is so incredibly good, man. Like she put other shows on hold once I caught up.
Wow.
To be like, we're gonna watch this because I know you're gonna love it. And she was right. I absolutely love this show. I can't recommend this show highly to any more highly than anything. Just watch this show, man. It's, you in particular would really, really dig it.
Look, when I saw the trailer, I was like, this is on Peacock? Like, when this initially came out, I was shocked by that. But now that you say that they bought it from a British, oh, okay, well then, like, I'm all in. Because it's a damn good cast, right? Eddie Redmayne is a very good actor. Lashana Lynch is a very good actress. Yeah, like, this is easy for me. Right. It's like international hitman, weapons expert, spies, government politics. Yeah, like, all right, just call it the Jay Show, starring everything Jay likes. Like, that's fine.
Right. And look, like Lashana Lynch is, your quote unquote good guy, but like, she does some shady shit. Like, in
First
the like
MI6, of course.
every right, like, but she does some real shady shit, and it's like, oh, so you got shades of gray, right? Like, she's not like fucking noble, like trying to like, nah, yo, she will do whatever she has to do to get what she needs to get, right? And you find yourself rooting for the jackal, but then you realize, yo, but this guy kills people for a living, yo. Like, this guy's a ruthless assassin, right? Like, it's one of those shows where everyone has shades of gray, right? And everyone like the quote unquote bad guy has certain reasons for doing what he's doing that you find out about, and the good guy is obsessed with trying to find the bad guy to the detriment of those around her. Like, man, this show is great. I love it.
All right. I like the sound of that. That's awesome. Topics, Micah, take it away.
All right. I know I'm the only one that gives a fuck about awards and award shows, but the Golden Globe nominations came out. I'm always interested to kind of, figure out what the movie industry, or in this case, the Hollywood Foreign Press, what they think are the best movies of the year, right? Mm. So I'm just going to run through a couple of these nominations. Best Motion Picture Drama. My wife was like, I've never heard of any of these except for like one. A Complete Unknown.
Ironic.
Right. That's I think that's the Bob Dylan movie.
Yes, it is.
With Timothy Chalamet. Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nickel Boys, September 5th, and The Brutalist for Best Motion Picture Drama. Best Motion Picture Musical or Comedy. A Real Pain, which is something I really want to see.
Yes, that looks very good.
Honora, Challengers.
Oof, yeah, I heard that was fun time.
Challengers is really good. I can't believe that movie came out this year, though. It feels like it came out a long time ago.
I feel like that was super early in the year, like really, really.
Yeah. Amelia Perez, Wicked, and I did not know this movie was a musical or comedy. The Substance.
Is it a dark comedy? Because the way Terrence describes it, I would not put it in the category of musical.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
okay.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, that's weird.
Best Motion Picture Animated. Your favorite movie, Moana 2, is nominated.
That's ridiculous.
A movie that you hate, Inside Out 2, is also nominated.
Yeah, okay, I love that.
Along with Flow, Memoir of a Snail, The Wild Robot, the one that Terrence hates, and another Wallace and Gromit movie.
Yeah, they just keep cranking. I like it.
Yeah, apparently.
Look, if it's Inside Out 2 or The Wild Robot, I mean, either one of those I think are completely reasonable choices. If I had to choose between the two of them, as much as I did like Inside Out 2, knowing that Terrence cried uncontrollably by watching The Wild Robot, I'm going to go with The Wild Robot. That's why he's not here today. He was like, I watched it again for the 12th time. I can't stop crying. He'll tell you that he didn't cry, but all right. Is he here? Okay, that's your answer. Yeah, no, the Moana 2, that being on the list is fucking ridiculous. Like, it's not it shouldn't win an award. Maybe
you know why it's there, right? Like the Hollywood Foreign Press it's long been like rumored that like they nominate certain things because they're a bunch of star fuckers.
Yeah, no, that feels right.
And I think that, you put Moana 2 on there because you hope that, America's biggest movie star, literally and financially, will come to your show, right? Because like that's going to put eyes on it. Look, I get it, but from what I hear, Moana 2 is not that great. I would do best performance by male and female actor for drama and comedy. So lead performance by a female actor, Angelina Jolie for Maria, Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here, Kate Winslet for Lee, Nicole Kidman for Baby Girl, Pamela Anderson for The Last Showgirl, and Tilda Swinton for The Room Next Door. It's funny that none of these are movies that were nominated for best drama.
It is funny. I've heard about literally none of these performances. like at
Yeah.
all. I mean,
Yeah.
look, shout out to Pam Anderson for getting a fucking Golden Globe nomination. That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
I mean, she's come a long way from just being bouncing fake tits on a beach to doing like real drama. I mean, quite literally. I mean, she stopped all the makeup and all that other stuff years ago. Like she's taking her life seriously. I appreciate that about her.
Yeah, well, people fucking ran her through the mud, man. And
They did. Unfair.
You know, she got a raw deal. I mean, not too raw, right? Like she's famous, but
Yeah, I mean, she got a raw dog deal on that. I'm sorry.
I was trying to find one. But I couldn't put it together quick enough.
You're welcome. Please continue.
Best performance by a male actor, drama, Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing.
Obviously.
You know, rooting for everybody black. Hope he gets it. Daniel Craig for Queer. I saw the trailer for that. It looks like he's putting in a really, really good performance in that. Ray Fiennes and Conclave, Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice, and Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown. Best performance by a female actor, motion picture, musical, or comedy. Amy Adams for Night Bitch. Did you ever see that?
No, but I really do. You know what that's about, right? Like she thinks she's turning into a dog.
Yeah. I was listening to another podcast, and the guy that reviewed it, he was giving a rave review about it, but he said he saw it with his wife, and his wife was like, she wasn't that into it because like she was like, yeah, well, like it was common sense, like, yeah, I go through this every day, like show me something new, and he was just like, oh my gosh.
Apparently, the book is very good. It's on my list of things I want to read. Yeah, go ahead.
Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Demi Moore for The Substance.
I'm sorry, can we pause here? What's going on over here? What's going on? What is happening with her? Every time I see her, she's getting weirder and weirder looking, dude. What is going on with Erivo?
Well, you know, she had
a wonderful singer. I think she is a perfectly good actress. What is happening right now? What the fuck is going on?
She's turned into a witch. She had a little bit of drama earlier in the year before Wicked came out. You know, so there's the Wicked movie poster, right? And it is a version of the famous Wicked Broadway poster, right?
Sure.
So a fan decided to alter the movie poster to make it look more like the poster for the musical, and in that they gave her red lips, right? Because of the Broadway poster is an abstract, you know, picture, and they gave her red lips, a smirk, and they covered her. They covered her eyes with a witch's hat. And Cynthia Erivo went on a tirade saying, "Oh, this is erasure, and this is I am a black woman, and you are trying to erase me from this." And literally everybody was like, "Yo, pump the brakes," right? I think she thought that she could like, black people aid me, right? Like to me, my niggas, right? And that shit didn't happen.
Like, but it's on the regular poster, like,
right? Like it was very clearly someone making a fan edit, right? They still kept her broad nose, they kept her big lips, right? Like, and I'm not making fun of, Lord knows, I'm not making fun of people with big lips. I'm jealous, okay? And it was still her. It was just kind of like modified. Like you should try to find it.
I found it. Relax. Like, you'll relax. Okay? It's not that serious, yo. Like,
she was like, black people aid me, right? And then, you know, we got long memories, right? Like then some old tweets came up of her like making fun of you know, AAVE and it was not a good look for her. But she seems to have come out of it unscathed because the Wicked fandom is going to make that movie, part one of that movie, $1 bajillion.
Yeah. I'm interested to see it like when it hits like streaming or what have you.
I am not. That movie is 2 hours and 45 minutes. I'm not going to watch a fucking part one of a Wizard of Oz retelling from the villain's perspective.
I mean, here's the thing. I am okay now that it's I thought it was like an hour and a half. That's ridiculous. I am not a fan of the Wizard of Oz story. Like, I don't really like the movie.
That's what I was like, what the
I just
fuck are you
don't.
talking about?
When I was a kid, I was kind of scared. Like, I didn't like it. And then I saw Return to Oz with the fucking Wheelers, and I was like, end of this. I'll never watch this again. No, 2.5 hours. Like, I was interested in the retelling, but at 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 40 minutes or whatever, no. Nigga, this isn't Dune.
This is part one. This is part one.
Yeah, Dune had 2 parts too, but like. Right. It's not a retelling of what happened in Arrakis. It's a straight story.
Oh man!
I'm good.
To finish up,
it's just not that bad.
No, it's not. It's not. And even she walked it back once she realized that nobody was coming to her side. Demi Moore, Carla Sofia Gascon for Emily Perez. Mikey Madison for Honora and Zendaya for Challengers. Finally, best performance by a male actor in a musical or comedy. Gabriel LaBelle for Saturday Night. I do not understand it. Like, I like that movie.
Is he playing Lorne Michaels?
Yeah, he's playing Lorne Michaels.
Okay.
He was fine. He was fine. But like one of the best performances of the year, I don't know about all that. Glenn Powell for Hitman. Look, I like that movie, and he was really good in it. I don't know if it was one of the best performances of the year. Okay. Hugh Grant for Heretic, Jesse Eisenberg for Real Pain.
No, Heretic looks super good.
Yeah,
look, all I'll say is maybe it's out there. I don't know. I'm not saying I just searched for it, but I'm just saying that maybe Heretic is out there. You can rent it.
Jesse Plemons for Kinds of Kindness, which I wanted to watch. I really need to go back and watch that. And Sebastian Stan for A Different Man. So he's nominated in drama and comedy. So he can get he has the potential to get 2 Golden Globes for Best Actor in the same night. And then, Denzel Washington was nominated for a supporting role and bunch of other awards. There are way too many awards. Cinematic and box office achievement. So I guess the movies that made the most money.
That's dumb.
AKA the movies that people have seen award. Alien Romulus, Beetlejuice, Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine could win a Golden Globe.
That's stupid. This is
just Gladiator 2. Inside Out 2, The Wild Robot, Twisters, and Wicked. Like that. Like, this is why nobody takes the Golden Globes seriously, guys.
Yeah.
No, all these different ass movies are in the same category.
Yeah.
Oh, and real quick, television for drama, The Diplomat, which my wife loves, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which everybody loves, Shogun, which I love, Slow Horses, which I hear is good, Squid Game.
It's hard.
Squid Game.
No, Squid Game 2.
This is Squid Game. I don't know.
No, but the poster Squid Game 2. I don't. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Neither one makes sense, actually. Squid Game or Squid Game 2. Slow Horses, by the way, I've tried to get into it. It's got a fantastic fucking opening, and then it goes Slow Horses, and it just slows down dramatically. And I want to really enjoy it. And I've tried like 3 times to watch that show. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I'm having a hard time getting into it. I feel like it's probably very good. But I'd like to give it another chance because I really love the opening.
Well, a show that you will not have a hard time getting into is the last nominee for Best Television Series Drama, The Day of the Jackal.
There you go. In before the buzzer. A buzzer beater.
And lastly, The Penguin's nominated too. Lastly, television series, musical or comedy, Abbott Elementary, The Bear, Hacks, Nobody Wants This, Only Murders in the Building, and The Gentleman. My wife has seen all of these, and I've seen 1, 2, 3, and a little bit of 4.
Ooh. Best television limited series anthology or motion picture made for television: Baby Reindeer, Disclaimer, Monsters, Ripley, which I hear Ripley is very good as well. The Penguin, and True Detective Night Country. True Detective Night Country? No. Okay, like knock it off. I'm only having a conversation at that point. I have not seen Disclaimer, but the things that I've seen or heard about, The Penguin, Ripley, or Baby Reindeer, that's all very good. Penguin is a hard one to beat, man. Holy shit, that's going to be a hard one to beat. I really think so. So we'll see.
My wife has seen Disclaimer, and I don't know, man. You think the Penguin is gonna have I think Baby Reindeer is a better shot than the Penguin does. To be perfectly honest with you,
we'll see. I don't know. I mean, Baby Reindeer was it was a hit, like no doubt about it. But I think it came out a bit earlier. You know, like it's not hitting at the tail end, which is a bullshit thing that shouldn't be fair. But it doesn't matter to people.
Yeah, recency bias.
Yeah. Best performance as a female actor on television. They should all win. I'm happy for all of them. I really am.
Yeah. I'm happy for me looking at these pictures.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fucking murderer's row. God damn. Ayo Hereditary. Gene Smart, relax. Catherine Hahn, Kristen Bell, Quinta Brunson, and Selena Gomez. Yes.
Oh man,
wonderful.
Yeah. So, look, I'll do a very brief recap after the Golden Globes. Just I'm always curious what the industry thinks is good as compared to what I think is good. Look, good news. Finally, Sony Spider-Man universe is dead. Long live the actual MCU comic book Spider-Man movies. Kraven the Hunter will be the final spin-off movie for now. Ahead of Kraven the Hunter's release in theaters this weekend, fans have cause to celebrate because the end of Sony's Spider-Man universe, sometime referred to as Spunk, or Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters. Yo, what is that for real?
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
Yeah, not good. This is not a good title. Let's abbreviate it.
I mean,
but
isn't that just indicative? Like, if this is an official thing, like, isn't that just indicative of everything that is wrong with this whole thing? It's spunk. According to The Wrap, the decision has been made to pull the plug on the slate of spinoffs that revolve around characters with close ties to Spider-Man, but not the web slinger himself. A top talent agent tells the trade, quote, "They have developed what they want to develop for now. It's really all about the next Spider-Man film." A Sony insider tells them that the studio now intends to focus on Spider-Man 4, co-produced by Marvel Studios. So no, they're not bringing Tobey Maguire back for Spider-Man 4. This will be the fourth in the Spider-Man Home series. And they will focus on Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. On the TV side, Spider-Man or Spider-Noir is also a top priority as Sony looks to finally put the spotlight on the character that matters, Spider-Man.
Weird.
I mean, who'd have thunk?
Are you upset? Are you upset that you're not getting potentially El Muerto or Silver Sable? And I was recently reminded that they did announce in 2022. I swear to God, this is a real headline.
Black Cat and Silver Sable?
No. Here's one you don't remember. Okay, buddy? Donald Glover to star in produced Spider-Man movie based on villain Hypno Hustler.
Yeah, Hypno Hustler. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
Darn, we won't get a Hypno Hustler movie. Good. Apparently, Venom proved the doubters wrong in 2018 when it earned close to $900 million at the box office. However, reviews were largely negative, and both Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and Venom: The Last Dance earned significantly less, with the latter the lowest grossing in the trilogy, because those movies stink.
Yeah.
The message from the fans was clear: they've had enough of these spin-off movies and the liberties they take with the source material. I don't know who this quote. The Sony insider says the biggest issue with the Sony Spider-Man, the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters, seems that the spunk seems to be the lack of quality control. The movies just aren't good.
Yeah.
Sometimes the lack of quality means a movie no one asked for, which was the case with Madam Web, and that is a no-win scenario. It may be time for Sony to start cultivating different IP to launch new franchises. Wow. Look, man, I'm not going to read the rest of this, but good. I don't want Craven to fail, but I'm not going to pretend that I give a fuck about this movie. I'm not going to pretend that like I'm excited for John Wick if he was bitten by a radioactive lion and now he's fucking running around on all fours and shit. Like, I remember when that first teaser trailer came out, people were like, "Oh, this actually looks pretty good." Like, you motherfuckers have a low bar. You are the problem. You are the problem. Like, nah, yo. And I'm not saying I gotta have like high quality shit all the time. Like, I like eating fat. Well, I don't like eating fast food, but I'll eat it. But like, it looked like crap. And the studio doesn't have faith in it because they released 8 minutes of footage of the movie to try and get you hype. And I didn't watch it, but I listened to a recap of it. Doesn't sound like something I want to watch, man. It doesn't seem good. This seems like we got another Morbius on our hands with more more violent.
So it's ironic that you say that. Let me read a quote. Craven was initially expected to take in between $28 million and $30 million this opening weekend, but now looks set to make between $20 and $25 million in North America on the reported budget of $110 million. For comparison's sake, Morbius managed to reach $39 million. It's actually slated to have a much lower opening weekend than Morbius. Yeah, by the way, I think it's opening in 1,000 theaters less. The theaters were like, "We're good, thanks."
And it's opening what, like Christmas or some shit like that?
No, this weekend.
This weekend? Yes. That's how much this shit is not on my radar, yo. Yeah. All right, this opening this weekend. You know what's opening next weekend? Sonic 3. Yeah. I wonder what's going to win out.
Yeah. And he got a blicky. They gave shout out to blicky.
I might have to take my son to see that.
I got to watch part 2.
I got to watch part 2 also. He's been like, I want to see Sonic. I'm like, all right. I'll take you to see that. We'll go see the Black Hedgehog played by the half Asian man.
Like, why didn't you have him play Knuckles and then you just play Shadow? They're like, nah, don't worry about it. Like,
no, you can't. No, you gotta specifically have someone from Africa or from someone who could trace their lineage back to whatever country in Africa, and hopefully it's from Uganda, because you gotta have Knuckles be African, just for the fact that Ugandan Knuckles was a thing.
Uganda, that's true. That's right. I forgot about that stupid ass meme. Good Lord. Yeah, I mean, look, I got to tell you, I'm a little upset that this is the Sony Spunk universe is ending. But yeah, it's because it stunk. All of it was bad. All of it.
Yeah, it's spunk.
Yeah, sorry guys, it was bad. Venom 1 was bad. We get it. You liked it. It's still bad. All of them were bad. No thanks.
Yeah, and look, man, for the simple fact that these Spider-Man movies don't have Spider-Man in them, I couldn't watch them on principle. You can't trade off for I'm not gonna watch a goddamn MLK drama starring Klansmen. Like, what the fuck? Like, that
Right.
doesn't make any fucking sense.
Hey, what do you guys think
Like,
of MLK? Does the Klansman talking for 2.5 hours? Like, what do I give a shit?
like why?
Yeah,
Like why?
it's they don't know what they're doing. And look, the smart money would have been to just pick one of the many spiders and just made that the spider of your universe. I
I don't know. I
don't know
don't
why
know how these people
I'm glad they didn't,
can.
but I don't
I
know.
don't know how these people can make these god awful movies, and at the same time, their animation division creates arguably two of the best Spider-Man stories. Period. I can argue that those two movies are better than every live action Spider-Man movie.
Oh,
And it's
100%.
not just because the black characters in it, right?
No,
Like,
they're
no,
just
like
better stories. This is
they're
better stories.
better stories. Those stories get what it means to be Spider-Man.
But
And
I also think it's not their animated department though. It's Lord and Miller very specifically, right? Like it's not because Sony doesn't do shit. They were just like, here's some money, and Lord and Miller were like, thank you. Like, can we tell you what to do? No, shut up. And they were like, oh, you got it. Like they don't. They pretty much just run the shit. Like I think it's kind of like the Day of the Jackal. They just kind of pay for it, and then they're like, here's the final product. It's like, all right, we'll just put it on Peacock. Like I don't think they do much of anything, which is why it's.
I think you're half right. I think they didn't give a shit about. I think they were like, hey, here, get some money. Nobody watches cartoons anyway. You do whatever you want,
I respect.
right? And when it was a hit, then they were like, oh shit, like here's some money. Do whatever you want,
Yeah.
right? Work these people till their fingers bleed, right? So yeah, it's just weird, man. Like you can give that kind of trust up, but I think it's less Lord Miller and more Avi Arad, man.
He sucks.
Like
He doesn't get Spider-Man at all. He doesn't.
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. And and as good as that last Marvel co-produced Spider-Man movie was, the one thing I hate about it is that line in the credits, where it's like where they fillet Avi Arad. Oh well, they made Avi Arad seem like he was standing in next to Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. Like that's what they did.
Yeah,
and
I'm sure that's probably part of the contract. Like you have to suck Avi Arad's dick for this many seconds in this movie. I'm like, he has ruined Spider-Man for decades. For decades. If he was a smart businessman and he actually knew what he was doing, the second the MCU started, they should have been like, we would like to join up with you. Immediately, dude. Immediately. You could have made tons of movies. Tons. I would have been like, hey, Andrew Garfield, guess where you're going? Get the fuck over there. Like, we're not having a conversation, dude. Let's get this money. But no, instead they made a bunch of shitty movies. Was a damn good actor, by the way. Like, Andrew Garfield was a great Spider-Man. And when people were like, no, he wasn't, and then he was in No Way Home, they're like, oh, he was actually really great. Yeah, he was always great. It was just
he was always great, man.
Yeah, he was just in subpar shit. Like he just was. So yeah, it's they've never known what they're doing. And the idea of how they ended that second Andrew Garfield movie with like, here's all the suits for the villains. Like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? They're all produced by Oscorp. Why? Why would they do that? Like it. And the one thing that really sucks is, cool, I'm glad you're ending this, but you fucked over characters that would work really well in the MCU, right? Kraven should have been an MCU fucking character, 100%.
Like, I'm not going to see an MCU Sinister Six show. Like, I'm not going to see an untainted version of an MCU Sinister Six. No. And look, look, I love Spider-Man 2. All this bullshit I'm talking, Spider-Man 2 is right up there with one of the best, right?
Right.
And I love Alfred Molina. Yeah, and I love Alfred Molina's Doc Ock. But so I am more than happy bringing that in. I'm more than happy bringing Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin in. But like Jamie Foxx's Electro, I mean, it just doesn't. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. This Craven, it just, I'm not going to see an untainted Sinister Six. And that sucks, man. That sucks. That's what the MCU, if the MCU had Spider-Man, that's what they would have been building to. 100%. That would have been the
that's Spider-Man 3. That's the Spider-Man 3.
Right. That would have been the third movie if the MCU had the reins to make Spider-Man movies.
Yep. But now, okay, hold on a second. I'm just going to allow me to give you a little bit of hopium, right? I'm going to give you a little bit. You have the incursions that are happening in the MCU. There is a possibility that not bringing those actors back, but like just, making an incursion where those characters from other universes come in, all brand new actors or whatever, and they eventually end up in the MCU. It would be kind of dope if you did the incursions. Tom Holland has been saying like he wants to be Spider-Man as he brings Miles into the universe. That the first time you see an untainted Sinister Six in the MCU is the two of them taking them on. That would be kind of fun. And you could do it that
would be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. We'll talk about certain decisions that are happening in the MCU a little later that I'm, but it could be fun. It could be. I
would love to see them do it. Like, just fucking come on, man. And like the OG Sinister Six, right? Craven, Mysterio, Doc Ock, Vulture, Sandman, and Electro. Like you already got Vulture is fucking perfect, right? You already have Mysterio, right? Like you could figure out a way. Like you can easily, again, incursions, right? Like fucking bring Jake Gyllenhaal back. He was great. Or just be like, he faked his death because that's kind of who that character is.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Right? And you get a new Craven, obviously. You get a new Doc Ock. You get it, you bring in all of these guys and you let them tear it up. Like I think after the incursions, it's like, oh shit, like what's happening? The world is all new, all different. And all of a sudden you got these six characters like they know Spider-Man from their universe, and then they're like, let's all fucking go after him. And they all get their asses kicked separately, and then they decide to team up. And in that moment, Miles comes into the MCU, and he's like, all right, like, you need help. Like, let's fucking do this, right? Like, oh, you're a reluctant kid. I don't want to bring you into it. Oh, shit, you have powers. And like, yeah, it looks like you need help, Spider-Man. And then it's like, there you go. I don't know. Yeah. That would be, if Sony is really dead with this shit, that would be the move if I was Marvel. But we'll see. They got a lot going on.
They're never going to give it up, man. They're never going to give it up. God damn it.
See, you should have never ratted on that guy from Altoona. Like, just let him talk to, where's Avi Arad going to be? What time?
So, Amy Pascal, producer, over at Sony, says that they are going to, their next big move is to focus more on Spider-Man 4, the one co-produced with Marvel, she's quoted as saying, we're starting shooting the next Spider-Man movie with Destin Daniel Cretton. He's a wonderful director. I love No Mercy. I love Short Term 12. I love Shang-Chi. I think he did a wonderful job. When the trade, end quote, when the trade put it to her that No Way Home felt like the perfect send-off for the web slinger, Amy Pascal responded, quote, well, we have to deal with the fact that he decided he's going to give up being Peter Parker. And he was going to focus on being Spider-Man because being Peter Parker was too hard, she teased. That's what the movie is about. Okay. I think I know what she's saying. Like the the whole thing with Spider-Man, one of the things, Spider-Man is a very complicated character, but one of the things that makes Spider-Man unique is that he has a secret identity that he has to keep up appearances, right?
Right.
He feels compelled to stop, the beetle, but like can't forget the eggs for Aunt May, right? He's got to remember to do the thing that Aunt May asked him to do. Otherwise, people will find out that he is Spider-Man, right? And they did that whole they found out I was Spider-Man thing before, and then they talked to Doctor Strange, retconned all that shit. If anything, I think it would be more prudent of him to be like, shit, I got to do whatever it takes to keep up appearances.
Right.
If I'm still going to be Spider-Man, right? Because you can't stop being Spider-Man. That shit is addictive, right? Like I'm a fucking superhero, right? Like I'm not giving that shit up, right? And I can help people, right? But at the same time, like I can't let anybody figure out who I am. So the whole idea of giving up being Peter Parker, like how's that going to work, right? Like you're just not going to you're not going to have a job. Like
Yeah.
you're not.
I mean, okay. Thinking about how Spider-Man 3 ended, right? The idea that no one knows who he is, right? Like he has no connection to anyone at this point. Aunt May's dead. All of his friends, his girlfriend, everybody doesn't know who he is. So maybe the idea here is like the only thing that he has, because he's not rooted in any sort of personal relationships at this point. The only thing he has is just being the superhero. And if I'm writing that story, and I'm a no talent ass clown, so it wouldn't be me. But if I was writing that story, then I would focus on the idea that he starts to burn himself out because he has no connection to humanity. Like his connection to humanity, as I've always seen it, is through his friends, through Aunt May and all of that. That's what kind of keeps him going, right? It keeps him pulling punches. It keeps him from not going too far because he has these people he cares deeply about and understands. When you don't have that connection, what are you, right? Like in the same way, like I love that fucking psycho from Gotham, right? Like if that guy is unmoored from reality most of the time, but it's because he has Alfred and, he eventually likes to, get his dick wet with like Vicky Vale or whoever or Catwoman. It's what keeps him a little bit grounded, because if he goes over to the other side and just kind of fully commits to the Batman thing, he's gone. And like, that's it. So I think maybe that could be the story of like not kind of falling into that and that being your only thing, like kind of pulling back. Because he doesn't have Tony either. Like he has nothing at this point.
Yeah, he's got nothing. I see that. I can see that. All right, I'll give you that. Maybe he befriends a young Black Rican child, and maybe that is his one, tether to humanity, and then that kid figures out. I don't know. Like you said, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Look, I like those movies well enough that I will give them the benefit of the doubt, especially if Marvel is kind of like steering the ship, and Sony is just kind of like, we should go over there. They're like, okay.
Yeah, but anyway, we're gonna go this way. Shut the fuck up.
Right. You gotta treat these producers at Sony like I treat my children, where it's like, hey, can I do this? And like, you have to know when to give them choices, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like you can't say, do you want dinner or do you want ice cream? Right? Like I want ice cream. Like, no, eat your dinner, and then do you want ice cream or do you want cookies? Right? Like that's what you got to do with these people.
Yep.
So I don't know. We'll see. I guess last up for me, Henry Cavill's Warhammer 40K series is happening over at Amazon under a deal with Games Workshop. exactly 2 years after Amazon MGM acquired global rights to the Warhammer 40K game from Games Workshop, for Henry Cavill to star in and executive produce a cinematic universe. There has been movement on the project. The first piece of the potential franchise, a TV series, is now officially in development. According to sources, a mini room was assembled to hone in on the creative direction for the Warhammer universe. Based on the material produced by the writers, a decision was made to proceed with the development of a TV series as the first project. No showrunner has been locked in yet, with a deal being hammered out. All right.
We got it.
Okay, look. So basically, everyone has decided that they want to do this.
Yeah.
Apparently, and Henry Cavill is a big Warhammer dork. I can see him easily playing Titus, which is kind of like the main character in some of the games. Look, I like this. I like this world. I like this universe.
Did you play the game?
Yeah, I played the fuck out of that Space Marine 2. I put maybe like 90 hours into that game.
Wow.
As like a father with a full-time job. And I still found time to put that much time into that game. I really, really enjoy it. It's basically it's like walking hard-ons, right? Like they're just big dudes with dicks, like they're just big walking dicks with guns and chainsaw swords, and they're fascist, right? But like they grew up in fascism, so it's all they know, and like throughout a lot of the stories, like there are tons of different stories, right? But some of them consist of like introspection, right? Like what is my place in this world? And then some of them are just like, gung ho, shoot them up, like
kill them all.
Fuck yeah,
right?
Alpha male shit, right? Like it's a fun universe. And I'm super interested now, and especially knowing that I hope Henry Cavill's not too close to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
That it kind of backfires on him, but yeah, I'm excited. And if Secret Level, if the Warhammer 40K episode that had Warhammer 40K in it is any kind of proof of concept, yeah, man, it's gonna appeal to people in their basest of instincts, right? Like it's just fucking dudes in armor, like wrecking shop,
just
right?
bro dogging it up for 2 hours.
Yeah, like fuck yeah, man. But if you can balance that with like decent storytelling, it doesn't even have to be like, I'm not looking for nothing phenomenal, right? I just want like
it feels like this would do well to get, obviously he's way too old now, but I feel like he still probably got it. Like a Paul Verhoeven Starship Trooper style,
yeah.
Like total cynics look at this, right? Like I think that would be kind of like a good satire, where everyone else is like, yeah, this is fucking awesome, and the other people are like, you guys do know they're fascists, right? Like you guys are aware of this,
right? Like you're rooting for the fascists, guys. Like everything about it is fascism, but it's a satirical, like with a satirical bent to it, right? Like, yeah, we're rooting for these guys, but like, these guys are fucking assholes,
we definitely shouldn't be. Like, yeah, no, I think something like that would be kind of a fun take on that. So, all right,
yeah, I can't wait for everybody to get the wrong messages out of.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing about media. Just the lack of like media literacy. It's just my favorite. All right, topics for me. The Mandalorian and Grogu movie adds Jeremy Allen White as Rhoda the Hutt. So yeah, everybody's favorite chef is joining the Mandalorian and Grogu, but he's playing Jabba the Hutt's son. So he will not look like the handsome devil that you guys are all used to. He's just going to be a big old slug. So that's cool. He says, and also Sigourney Weaver is in this. She says, I'm playing a role in The Mandalorian and Grogu. I got to meet Grogu for the first time the other day. So she's pretty excited about it.
Heard he's a bit of a diva.
What's that?
Heard he's a bit of a diva, Grogu.
Oh, good. I hope he is.
Him.
Yeah, like don't touch me. Don't touch me. I'm a puppet. All right, that's cool.
Only one person can have their hand up my ass, and it ain't time. You.
At a time. It's at a time. He's open to it.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder what he's gonna sound like. I don't know if Rada the Hutt speaks Universal Basic, but yeah, I'm very curious.
That would be really weird. Like, hey, it's me, Jeremy Allen White. Like, what? Why'd your dad talk like that? Well, I went to school. He was an
yeah. Rada the Hutt's an anchor baby, guys.
Yeah. No, he's the second generation. He thinks he's better than his parents and all that they did for him. What an asshole. Yeah, okay, that's cool. I'm very interested to see what this looks like, right? As far as the movie, making the jump to a movie. I think it's a smart move. I'm not sure all Star Wars fans think that. I don't care. But I honestly do think it's a smart move. This is the type of stuff. I want to watch a little bit of Skeleton Crew before we come back next week. But I think this is the type of stuff to kind of pull in. This is going to pull in like the big swaths of Star Wars fans, right? And what I mean by that is like the filthy casuals, right? This is how you get your billion-dollar franchise back. People love Grogu, whether or not like hardcore Star Wars fans are still on board. Doesn't fucking matter. They're going to see it anyway. But you're going to get your filthy casuals back in the theaters because they like this. There's talk that Ahsoka season 2 is being moved to being most of the filming, or if not all of it, is being filmed in Europe, and they're not using the volume. So,
thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Look, there's nothing wrong with using the volume sparingly, not the whole thing. Like that gets ridiculous.
That was the one thing I was gonna say about this Mandalorian and Grogu movie is I hope they put some money behind it. Like I want to see I don't want everything to be on a soundstage. I don't want everything to be green screen. I want you to go out, find fucking locations and go out and be out there. Like I want to see that dude's cloak flapping in the breeze. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if it's supposed to be a Western, like get on a fucking backlot and shoot some shit outside, man.
Yeah, I agree. Wherever they filmed the first Thor, go there. That's a shitty one horse town. So yeah, I'm down for that. I like that idea. Again, I don't have a problem with using the volume sparingly on certain things. That's okay, but not whole seasons every fucking shot, right? Like I think that's just ridiculous. So cool. God bless. Sounds good to me. I think this is going to probably turn out to be a lot more fun than people realize. Because there's some moments that are often kind of ignored, especially in that third season. There were some really cool fucking action sequences in that third season. Like when that one Mandalorian kid got taken by that like dragon or whatever, and all the Mandalores were like going after it. That shit was dope. Like that fucking sequence, that high flying sequence was real fun. And with like a $200 million Star Wars budget, you can do some pretty fun shit. So I'm interested to see what the story they tell. So, all right. Last but certainly not least, Chris Evans is officially returning for Marvel's Avengers Doomsday. All right. How mad are you on a scale of 1 to 5?
Maybe a 3. I'm not terribly upset by it. I'm way more disappointed. Look, I will, and look, I'm disappointed now. In the moment, if and when it happens,
You never know.
I'm probably gonna be, into it because like I'm a hypocrite like that. But right now, I'm a bit disappointed just because you know we talked about it offline. Marvel Studios has had a really bad string of luck with COVID and Chadwick Boseman dying and Jonathan Majors getting into his, legal issues. Like one thing after another really kind of put the brakes on presumably what their plans were, right? Like
Right.
I've read rumors that T'Challa was supposed to be like the linchpin, for lack of a better term, the tip of the spear for this new uh, for this
There's
new
1,000%
phase.
other things you could have said, but go ahead.
that he was supposed to be the one that was like, and when you think about it, right, when you go back and you think about it, right, like the de facto leader is Tony Stark, right? He was the first one. He was the one that made the sacrifice. But the people's champion is Captain America,
Always was.
right? And when did Black Panther get introduced? In a Captain America movie, right? Who was there on the front lines side by side? It wasn't Tony Stark, it was T'Challa, right? I think I am willing to believe the rumors that I've read that T'Challa was supposed to be the one to kind of lead the charge in this new era, and they won't be able to do it, and that sucks for not for stupid movie reasons. It sucks because a man died, and then Jonathan Majors got into his issues. That sucks for the movie side, right? Because like he fucked up, right?
Stupid.
And they've had just bad luck after bad luck after bad luck. So it feels like they're kind of spinning their wheels, and I don't want to say panicking, but like with the announcement of Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, and now this announcement that Chris Evans is rumored. Is it a rumor? I don't know if it's a rumor
Official.
or not.
It's official.
But with Chris Evans returning, presumably to be playing a version of Captain America, I'm just disappointed, man, because like the MCU used to make stars, and now they're kind of, I don't want to say resting on their laurels per se, but
right.
they're not making new heroes, right? We know who Iron Man was, right? My wife didn't, right?
Right.
And now Iron Man's on like, lunchboxes and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
They used to make stars. They used to make characters. Nobody gave a fuck about the schlub from Parks and Rec, right? They put him in an esoteric Marvel movie, and he's a super duper star, right?
Yeah, quite literally.
So
we'll just
like,
give this one to that weirdo from the Trauma movies. We'll see what he can do with it. Oh shit!
Right. Like, hello, the DC universe wouldn't be getting up off the ground
without him
if it wasn't for these Guardian movies. Like,
yeah,
I don't think that's an unfair statement. So I'm disappointed. Also, like, if he comes back, like, you want to know how you delegitimize Sam Wilson as Captain America. You bring back Captain America.
Okay, I hear you. I like, and that to me is the biggest. Like, I don't know what their plans are, right?
Right, and right. I don't know what their plans are. I'm venting. I'm talking out of my ass. Right. Look, I give them the benefit of the doubt. They haven't lost goodwill with me yet.
Right. So here's my thing. I don't know what their plans are. I really don't. I think the easy, like there is a mix between what is happening in the MCU versus what is happening with the actors, right? Like I think a lot of people tend to focus like MCU very specific viewpoints or actors very specific viewpoints, and I think oftentimes those views are not balanced, right? I think the easiest thought process, and some people have said this to me, is that he would play a variant of Steve Rogers from another universe, right? Because of the incursions. That makes a lot of sense, right? The problem is, to me, I have to think about Chris Evans, the actor. Outside of Knives Out, has Chris Evans had a successful career post MCU? I would argue he has not. I would argue that everything that he has done has either been largely like, with the Girlfriend Project or whatever the fuck that was on Apple TV, and then he had like a couple of like little small kind of roles. He had the great moment in Knives Out, and then that's kind of really it. He was in this movie with The Rock, which was a fucking miserable failure. He was in The Gray Man, which was pretty much a failure as well, right? Like he hasn't had like a breakout where they're like, oh shit, it's fucking Captain America. He's like kicking ass in this movie. That's awesome, right? Where like Sebastian Stan is getting 2 nominations for Golden Globes, right? Like you can see whenever he's done with this, he's going to be fine. And I think Evans was thought to be on that trajectory. And I think it's more of like the projects he's picking are just not very good, right? Not that he doesn't have the capabilities. He got his biggest pop, I would argue, in years in being in Deadpool and Wolverine, right? And that was a fun cameo and people didn't see it coming. And it was like, oh shit, that's great. I think he kind of misses that. And I think he likes that universe. I think his buddy Downey coming back is a big deal. And I think it's kind of like,
I think it's the only reason he's coming back.
But I don't think it's just, I think it's like to work with Downey again. Like I think they were very close, right? And to work with
the Russos. I think
and with Hemsworth too. Hemsworth is still there, right? Like, but I think that's a draw for him. I do think that because of what this movie is likely to be, I think you're going to see all the original team come back, right? Like whether they're different universe type of stuff, right? That's the sort of actor side of it, right? The business side of it. From a inside the MCU, yeah, like it really handicaps all of these new characters that you're trying to build. It handicaps Ironheart, it handicaps She-Hulk, and all of these other characters that you're not giving enough time to build up. And in fairness, they had a rough time because of all of the bad luck that you pointed out, right? So all of that being said, is he coming back for a one-off? I don't know. Because I could see him wanting to kind of miss it, right? Like if you read interviews with him when he was leaving or after he soon left, he was kind of like, the door's always open. I want to take some time. I want to try to some other projects and direct and stuff like that. But I also think he kind of misses it. I mean, he certainly got to miss them fucking checks. It's not like he's broke, but like, they were getting super fucking paid. Now, that being said, if he comes back and he is Steve Rogers that we know, right? Or eventually becomes a Steve Rogers like fucking incursion or whatever, but he's Steve Rogers in the main universe. I think you're absolutely correct that it does damage to Sam Wilson's Captain America to have Steve at the same time, right? They were fucking partners. Now there's another Falcon. Like, how does that work, right? Now, I'm not against it.
Right. I know they exist in the comic. Captain's America existed, right? They both existed in the same space, right? I'm aware of that, right? Like, it just doesn't.
Different.
It is, man. It is different. Like it's not. Hey, we got one outing with this Black Cap, and now immediately bringing the Cap Classic, right? And I don't have a problem with. Look, who's sitting on my desk right now, right? I don't have a problem with this guy. All right, right. I don't have a problem with him. No, but at the same time, like, and maybe it's a me thing. I want to see different shit. I want to see new stuff.
Yeah.
And I think most people don't like change. And they want, you know, when Robert Downey Jr. got that ginormous pop at Comic-Con for being Doctor Doom, I just felt like that was the first time where I felt like, I guess I'm on the outside looking in. I'm not in it anymore.
Right.
Because I'm not hype like I used to be. Now I'm gonna see it. Of course I'm gonna see it. Like it's who are you talking to, right? But before I would be giddy. I would be counting down the days.
Right.
And now it's just like, all right, when it happens, it happens.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I have that same feeling. And for me, the biggest issue has always been with the MCU, like this sort of post Endgame thing, is what is the story, right? If you tell me we got a bunch of new characters and all this, great, whatever. What is the story? Where are we going, right? Like, because that is what made the MCU pop as well as it did. You got to see Thanos at the end of Avengers, and every fucking dork who's ever read a comic book was like, nigga, they doing it, right? And so you knew every step of the road where the road was ending. You knew. Like, you didn't know exactly how they were going to twist and get there, but you knew that they were setting up for that big confrontation. Like, because you lost Kang, we don't have that. And so, look, you got Downey. Downey is Doom now. Whatever. It's fine. Look, the dude is an amazing actor. I think he will do great. I need him to show up soon. And I need him to be like, Fantastic Four movie, whatever. I need an indication what the story is. We read this shit, but there are people who go to movies and don't read any of this. They don't know Robert Downey Jr. is Dr. Doom. They don't know Dr. Doom has been cast at all. They may not even know who Dr. Doom is as a character. But if you have that dude show up in a post-credit and he's in the fucking suit and he's like, Richards or whatever, and a bunch of nerds in the theater go crazy, everybody else who doesn't know that shit are going to be like, well, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? And that's what spurs that fucking excitement again. They haven't been able to fucking latch on to what the story is. And that's the biggest thing. You're doing the incursions. You have an opportunity to get a Black Panther back, like T'Challa Jr. You have an opportunity to do that. You can age him up quick. Oh, an incursion, fucking time, whatever, blah, science. Boom, you got your adult T'Challa. You got him back. You got Doom in there. You got the Fantastic Four, all that. You got some of the X-Men are kind of mulling around. You need to pick what is the final thing that we're running towards. If the final thing is Doom, then let it be Doom. That's fine. But that's in like 2026, 2027. It's almost 2025, and we still have not seen him. We have not gotten an indication of that's what you want to do. So at some point here soon, you got to give people an indication of what's coming. When you do that, that's what sparks off all of the conversation, and they haven't done it. You know, and that's some of it's not their fault. Like, what the fuck? Like, you know, they were not a pivot, right? So I get it. But I'm not mad that Evans is coming back, but I'm curious as to what, like, I just can't imagine he does a cameo. He does a cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine. He gets this massive pop, and then he comes back for this for one time. That feels weird to me. Like, as an actor, you just popping in every once in a while. It just feels odd to me. Like, I don't see that.
See, if we're gonna do incursions, right? Because like these characters have to live on, right? Like Chris Evans can't be Captain America forever.
Right.
If you're gonna do these incursions,
pick a new actor.
What an opportunity to make a new star.
I agree. I'm not mad at
bring in a new person as Captain America. You don't need to rely on all these cameos all the time. You don't. Because when you bring these characters in, you are tying these characters to the actor. and that's not good for you. It's not good for the actor because like actors don't want to be pigeonholed. They don't want to be typecast as one character. It's really not good for you if you are an IP driven business and you need to keep this IP alive. Right. Captain America been around for what? Fucking 60, 70 years?
Right.
You can't you gotta keep it moving. You can't the same person is not writing Captain America books. The same person is not drawing Captain America books. You have to keep it going. Yeah. You have to, and you could make I don't have a problem with Steve Rogers showing up. I have a problem with the over reliance on cameos and member berries, right? Like fucking like let's fucking go. Tom Holland has the right idea, right? I want to be Peter Parker until we can bring in a Miles Morales,
and then I'm out.
And then you can make some other fucking nonsense happen. You get a brand new Peter Parker in, and look, I'm a Peter guy, right? I love Miles. I'm a Peter guy. I grew up with Peter. I want to see Peter Parker Spider-Man. But at the same time, you can't have one guy play him the whole time. You just can't.
Well, and here's the thing. With Peter Parker, you don't even have to do anything. You just recast him. Like, that's it. You just recast him, dude. It's not that fucking difficult. You just recast him. You don't have to.
And I say, yeah, right. And you don't have to do like different like mumbo jumbo and shit like that. But like, again, you tying these characters to the actor I think it's a bad idea. I really do think it's a bad idea. And look, I respect the wishes of everyone involved in making those Black Panther movies. I really do. This is a very sensitive thing, and they love that man, and we all did. But at the same time, they boxed themselves into a corner. And I'm not saying Wakanda Forever shouldn't have been made. I thought it was beautiful. I cried at that movie. Cried at that movie multiple times. I thought it was a wonderful, $250 million eulogy to a man. Yeah. And it's something that only can be done once. But boy, they pigeonholed themselves. They painted themselves into a corner. Yeah. And again, I'm not saying they shouldn't have done it, but
that's the difference between MCU storytelling and the sort of the outside business aspects, right? Like, and that's the balance, right? Now they did paint themselves in the corner, but they gave themselves a little get out of jail free card.
They gave themselves an out. Right? Yeah, they made sure to give themselves an out.
But it was smart. But that was the like, and they did it in the best way they could, which is right at the end of the movie. Hey, do you want to meet this little boy? That's his son. And you were like, yes, nigga, I see what you're doing. Like, thank you. I was so sad. Now I'm a little bit happy. And it's the scene with Shuri just looking out and pictures of Chadwick Boseman. All right, I'm gonna cry again. When I leave and I wipe my face, I'll feel a little bit better. And that was smart, and it was respectful, and I like that. This is the opportunity with the incursions, fucking time, blah, 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 blah. It's been a couple of years. Kids like 25 years old. Boom, there you go. That's all. Look, and that's all you need. You just need like a cool looking African dude go out there and kick some ass. You don't even have to be African. It's not like Chadwick Boseman was, right? Like, so
he was from South Carolina,
right? It's as close to Africa as you don't get, right? So, just do that. Just speed up time. There's an incursion. Oh, people change. Or whatever. Who the fuck? You did a blip and it moved everyone 5 years. Who cares, right? Like, you do whatever the fuck you want. Figure it out. Make this, make that kid the new T'Challa. Get back to your fucking plans and run with it, right? Like, and just run with it. But the biggest thing is you got to give people what is the fucking end goal. If the end goal is taking on Doom, then fucking take on Doom. That's what it is. Like, but if you put that motherfucker on the screen in that classic suit, people gonna flip out. You talk all the shit you want. Just don't show his face. Don't show his face. Just put Doom up there in some capacity where people go, and he doesn't have to be like, I'm not saying he's got to be a big part of the movie, the Fantastic Four movie. I don't want that.
I don't think he will. I don't think so. I think you'll get him in, I think you'll get allusions to him in the movie. Maybe you'll get allusions to him in the movie, but I think you will get something in a post-credit scene, right? I think, and it'll be like the after the 15 minutes of credits, that post-credit scene, right?
Yeah, no, they ain't gonna make you wait for that one, of course.
Right. They're gonna make you wait for it. And look, and what I hope, what I hope for Doctor Doom is, I don't ever want to see this guy's face. I don't ever want to see Robert Downey Jr.'s face. He can do the voice. That's fine. He can put on some weird fucking accent. I want them to Darth Vader that shit. Yeah. I want them to have a body double, and I want him to be, and Robert Downey Jr. could do the voice, right? Like I'm perfectly fine with that.
And by the way, that means you can just do it for years. There's no requirement for you to like get jacked and be big. No, studio time, my man. Like that's it. You show up, knock it out like Bradley Cooper, and then you just fucking go back about your day. And they pay you goo gobs of money to do it.
Yeah. But what is annoying is, I don't want to see his face. I don't want to see his face because again, that character started this whole thing. And I don't want there to be some bullshit ass, oh, well, this was a Tony Stark, but he, but instead he became something happened and it turned him, and now he calls himself. Nah, yo, I don't want to see that shit.
He's Victor Von Doom from the fucking jump.
Right. So we'll see. Well, look, I'm venting. I'm not in it right now. When the shit comes out, look, you can whatever episode this is, you can come back when I get on in future Mike. You can tell future Mike, hey, remember you said this and you were all boo-hoo and poo-poo and all that, and I'm saying go fuck yourself. I have the right to change my mind. It's my prerogative.
Yeah, hypocrisy is overrated. Calling you out for hypocrisy is overrated.
I'll be into it, but I'm not into it now, and it just is sad.
Yeah, look, and I'll just end this. Look, if you're gonna bring back Steve Rogers, like Steve Rogers proper, and he's a Captain America, Sam's a Captain America, that's fine. I don't have a problem with a salt and pepper and adobo team. That's fine by me. Okay, I'm fine with it. Do it. It's cool. It could be some dope shit. Like clearly in this upcoming Captain America, they're going to be doing some awesome ass high flying shit. That's fine, man. That's totally fine. Like that, the two of them niggas like flying around doing badass shit and other Cap down on the ground, Cap Prime throwing his shield around. I'm fine with it. It doesn't bother me, but just make sure that the writing doesn't have this white character coming back and overshadowing these other two brown characters. That I would have a personal problem with.
I would have a serious fucking problem with that, man.
Yeah, I would not
have a serious fucking problem with it.
So if that's the case, then I don't want it. Then make it a one and done. But if you can figure out a way to balance it properly, that's fine. That's fine. Look, I don't think you're getting another Captain America movie after this anyway. Because, we're moving into, at this point, you're moving all the way into, X-Men territory, right? Like, by the time you would even be thinking about doing another Cap movie. That being said, those guys can just exist, right? And that's fine. They can exist in movies. They're just not, they just show up in Avengers movies and stuff like that. It's totally fine. That's the way you can do it without having Sam get overshadowed. But just have the three of them working together. Sam, Steve, and I forget the other dude, the new Falcon. So that's fine. It's fine. But and by the way, one of the reasons I don't think people think, oh, maybe he'll be like a Hydra Cap. They kind of already did that, right? Like they did the Hail Hydra moment in Endgame. I don't think they'd go back to the well for that. Like that. That was a fun surprise. I don't think they would go back to the well and just make
people wouldn't want that either. People wouldn't want that. No.
They want to see him be a good guy.
Yeah, people would pitch a fucking fit if he came up. If he showed up in green and yellow, oh nigga.
I mean, look I'm not gonna lie. You know what?
I want it.
Yeah. Part of me would be like, it's kind of fun. It'd be kind of fun, right?
Yep, I want it.
For Sam and him to go toe to toe.
Yep,
that would be kind of fun. That I'm not gonna lie, that would be kind of fun. Boy, would that piss people off. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, buddy.
Now
All right, I'm into it now. I'm into it. See, that's all
I'm
it took.
back in.
That's all it took.
A
Make
black
Captain
man
America
beating up a white man. That's
yeah,
it.
make him a super Nazi. Go ahead, do it, and then have Captain and have Sam Cap beat the shit out of him. Literally fly circles around that motherfucker. Do it.
Yeah, that'd be kind of awesome. He comes back to get his ass handed to him by a dude with no super soldier. All right. That's pretty good. I like that. All right. What the fuck brought to you by JTD from the Edit That Out podcast. Micah, take it away real quick.
A bug smuggler was busted trying to leave this place with 320 tarantulas strapped to his body, including dozens as big as a human hand.
Australia.
He was trying to leave Peru. We know someone in Peru. Okay. He was trying to leave Peru, but what is his race?
His race or his nationality?
Nationality, I guess. What country is he from specifically?
Smuggling. I'm reading World War Z. China. They did a lot of organ smuggling in that book.
The 28-year-old Korean traveler was stopped at a security checkpoint in Lima on November 8th after his stomach area was noticeably bulging, according to Peru's National Forestry and Wildlife Service. When officials lifted up his shirt, they found hundreds of the creepy crawlies, also including 110 centipedes and 9 bullet ants inside Ziploc bags and plastic containers tied to his abdomen with 2 belts. The terrifying...
Bro, what are you doing?
The terrifying collection included 35 adult Bolivian blue-legged bird-eater tarantulas. That's a hell of a name. Which officials say were as big as a human hand, as well as 285 juvenile tarantulas.
He had all of this strapped to him?
Apparently in Ziploc bags. Yeah, because they got it all laid out like cops do when they do drug busts and shit. And they're all laid out in Tupperware dishes, and this is wild, man. He was traveling back to South Korea via France, apparently. This motherfucker's just going all over the place, all over the world with these creepy crawlies, as they say. But they don't say why he was doing this. All were extracted illegally as part of the illegal wildlife trafficking that moves millions of dollars in the world, a wildlife specialist said. You see an uptick during the holiday season. They see an uptick in the smuggling of rare animals, which are sold for a hefty price as gifts for collectors or exotic pets. So, all right, this guy was doing this for the same reason that anybody does anything, for money.
So he's a really weird Santa Claus, is what that's how they tell it. That he's the Santa Claus of South Korea. Yuck. This is disgusting, dude. I'm not putting all these tarantulas all over my body. Like, nah. And I understand tarantulas are like relatively harmless. But they don't look it. So
no, they don't.
They had 320 of them, dude. That's insane.
God damn.
You are super wilding, my guy. Get out of here.
All right, no more of that.
No. My story next up. The world's most expensive rice. All right. $109, or excuse me, basically roughly $60 a pound.
$60 a pound. Jesus. The fuck kind of rice is this? My first thought was China.
Hand-picked artisanal rice. This rice is the most nutritious yet affordable food on earth. But or general rices. But if you're looking for exceptional selection, you can get this one. It is produced. The exclusive rice selection features hand-picked grains from 5 varieties of award-winning rice varieties, flavor aged for 6 months using the company's proprietary rice buffing technology developed over 17 years ago to scam people out of money for the cheapest thing on earth to eat. It is said to have a superior nutritional value. It's fucking rice compared to conventional rice. It has a delicious nutty flavor, like the Sony Spider-Man universe of Marvel characters. The grains themselves are also like tiny diamonds, thanks to the patented polishing process that removes only the inedible wax layer.
So my first thought was China, but like I would assume that rice is ubiquitous over there. So, but it's still rice, right? So I don't know, man. Usually these stories aren't like, and it's like bougie rice, so it's not any of the brown Asian countries, right? So I'll say Japan, man. Somewhere probably like northern Japan, right? Because like they seem like they.
So I'm just confused. I just want to ask you a quick question here, just for clarification. You don't think this is any of the brown Asian countries? Is that correct?
Yes, I don't think it's any of the brown Asian countries.
Okay. And so what is the color of the other Asian countries exactly?
You know what I mean? Like you know a brown Asian when you see one.
Right. No, I understand. No, I understand.
South of the equator.
Right. You know like your Filipinos and things. No, but what's the color of the other ones? I'm just confused.
You know what you know. You know what they are.
They know what they are.
They know, you know, and they know. They you know.
Why is the color of your
not this color, right? Not this color. Not this color, right?
In brightest day.
This color.
Okay, all right. I see what you're doing there. Yes, this is in fact Japan. They're being ridiculous. Ken Mei premium rice. Ken Mei premium rice is $109 per kilogram, or about $50 to $60 per pound. That's insane. And they sell it in, I shit you not, like 140 gram packets, like a little tiny bit of rice.
Nah, yo. Mm-mm.
I just paid $5 for a bag of sushi rice, which I felt a way about. I was like, it was like a lot of money for rice.
What is it? Just sticky rice?
Yeah, it's like, like the sushi grade rice. Yeah. Because
right.
down here, that's not the type of rice. They have more Mexican rice here, which kind of sucks.
There's a lot of like, I've been to a sushi place that has like a lot of like Mexican people rolling sushi. Mm-hmm. Or not, I don't know if they're Mexican, but they're Hispanic. Is that the opposite where you live at now? Is it just like a bunch of white people rolling sushi?
No.
At sushi restaurant?
No. Mexicans do everything here. They do it all.
Okay.
Don't fuck around. They're not important people. Like, that's what y'all do. Y'all import them to come and do the job. No,
it's not, y'all don't have like white housekeepers and
no, but
white people on the corners selling roses.
They do. In fact, the Mormons they're like Amish. The Amish sell cheese on the corners. Like white Amish people sell cheese on the corners. Like there's also Mexicans, but they do have they sell little like a cube of cheese that they make. I'm not eating that cheese. Like you out there, it's 900 degrees outside, and I don't believe your cooler is working. Like get out of here. I'm not buying that cheese. And they're all creepy. They all look like children of the corn. Like it's all like one family. I think there's one white family in all of the city I live in. They're all related. They all look exactly alike, and they're creepy as fuck.
No, they all related except for Amish Joe.
Yes, that's right. The one you would think, he is not right. They're all really creepy. They have like light eyes and blonde hair, and they're like, they look dumb.
Master race, right?
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. Have you guys do they have Stridex there on the farm?
Yeah, that's what I want. When I come to Mexico and see you, I want it to be Bizarro World, right? I want it to be like up is down, left is right, black is white. You know what I mean? I want all the stereotypes to be reversed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, why are these guys so quick at construction? They should be slow at it. Like, no, they're still fast. Like, it's quite crazy. Yeah, no, it's the Amish people selling cheese is bizarre. Like, to the point we told my sister-in-law about it, and she's like a really, this is my wife's brother, his wife, who you've met. I'm not gonna say her name. Like, she's a very like straight-laced person. She was like, take a picture of them. I want to see it. Like, so she was like, it was like, my wife is like trying to be slick, but not. I'm like, don't take a picture of that dirty little boy. Like, come on, man. And his weird mom and like his mother was wearing like those dresses they would wear on like a riverboat in the 1910s, like the big hat and like this big. I'm like, it's 1,000 degrees. Yeah. God wants you to wear shorts.
You know why they wear that? Because they don't use deodorant. Like, they didn't have deodorant back then.
Yeah, so I can smell the window.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm assuming they weren't using deodorant then when you saw them.
Yeah, well, I mean, God was like, stop right at this date. And they were like, but there's no deodorant. He was like, this is the day we're stopping. Like, this is the fashion. I don't get it. God wants you to wear a deodorant. God loves degree. Come on. Just stink. Trailers this week. 28 years later. I was not expecting this trailer to come out as early as it did. Mikey, you've never seen any of the 28 movies.
No, I'm not really a zombie person. Zombies aren't my monster of choice. But so I never got into this series, but this trailer is an excellently cut trailer. That's really all I have to say about it. I'm not really familiar with the franchise, but in terms of cutting a trailer and having a trailer do its job, which is advertise the movie without telling you what everything about the movie. Mm-hmm. I think this is an excellently done trailer.
Yeah. Look, I think it's incredibly well done. Look, I like the original a lot. I really enjoyed 28 Days Later. I thought 28 Weeks Later was good. Not a great sequel, but a good one. And that was mostly because Danny Boyle did not direct the second one. This looks like it's kind of hitting back to the original. It looks a little bit cleaner than the original. If you ever go back and watch the original with Cillian Murphy, it feels really dirty and gritty as fuck. Where the second one feels a little bit cleaner like this. It's a little bit more Hollywood. But that's okay. Like, this also equally looks as fucked up as the original. Look, I'm going to rewatch the original too so I can refamiliarize myself with it. But this looks fun. Fun. Watching humanity die. But yeah,
it's real fun. It's real fun.
Go run for the border. What can I tell you? Yeah, y'all laughing at me now. I saw it. I synced it. But yeah, this looks good. It's a really well cut trailer. I don't know whose voice it is playing in the background with this like radio broadcast, but it adds a level of creepy vibe to it that works really, really well. So yeah, okay. And I'm pretty sure that zombie is supposed to be Cillian Murphy at one point in this. That kind of pops up at like minute and 48 seconds.
Yeah, I saw the meme of like, here's Cillian Murphy at 28 days later, and then here's Cillian Murphy 28 years later. Like,
So the cool thing about this franchise that always made it really stand out is that the zombies run fast, right? Like they're not slow moving. So there's not like, well, they won't catch me. No, they're running full speed. And like lactic acid is not their problem. Like you gotta keep running. So it'll be interesting to see. That first movie was fucked up. Like it was really fucked up. It has one of the best zombie transitions I've ever seen, which is what's his name? Gleason. I can't remember. It's not
Donald Gleason.
No. His dad. And he's looking up, and a drop of blood from a zombie falls into his eye.
Oh, god damn.
And that's how he gets infected.
He gets infected? Ugh.
Yeah, dude. It's a hell of a way to get infected. You're like, Jesus Christ, like, ugh. Oh my god. So yeah, it's good. It's very good. And Jeremy Renner was in the second one. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with this one. But all right, I'm down for it. Trailer for the second season of Severance is officially here. This is the big boy trailer. This looks so fucking good. I cannot wait for January 17th. I am super excited for this.
Yeah, it's been so long. I don't think I'm going to get my wife to watch it, so I'm going to have to try and. I don't know if I want to watch the whole thing again, or if I want to just try and catch up. Like I remember the major beats, especially from watching this trailer.
Mm-hmm. Maybe like the last two.
Yeah, maybe, but I maybe I would start from when certain relationships are shown.
Right.
That's where I think I would start. And yeah, this is like I'm back in it. I'm back into it. It's been so long, but I'm back into it.
Well, and it's interesting, right? Because the way they're talking, they understand more of the outside world than they should, of like the things that they're talking about. And so I'm curious as to how that's happening. So it's like the bifurcation stuff is not working, or something is breaking down, that they're talking about characters and events that have happened on the outside world while they're on.
Yeah, he's talking about like my Audis, you know, and then he talks about it, right?
Right.
And yeah, like this is what makes this. Yeah, I'm super excited for this, man.
Ben Stiller is great, man. He nailed the shit out of this series. It's really, really good. It's a couple of new characters and a couple of new actors too, which is kind of fun. Yeah, I'm very, very interested to see where this goes. Yeah,
I might watch this whole thing again, man.
This show.
I might watch this whole thing again.
It's brilliant. The show is just simply brilliant. So January 17th. All right, there you go.
All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make her watch it. I'm gonna put my foot down, like the alpha that I am.
Oh yeah,
and I'm gonna make her watch it. Now, if you want to spend quality time, that's your love language, quality time. Well, guess what? We watch a Severance.
my love language is weird.
Do what I say.
Weird
my love language
live.
is do what I say.
Yeah. My love language is demanding you watch a television. Weird. What a strange turn of events.
That is not my love language, by the way.
That's mine.
Be like,
forcing my wife's hand. She doesn't listen to it, but that's my love language.
Yeah, that's her love language is not doing what I say.
Neglecting.
So, it works.
Neglecting my rules. Right. It's like, no problem. I got it. All right. That is it for us this week. We will be back next week. So I'll try to watch Skeleton Crew, catch up on that, and I'm gonna see if I can watch Heretic. I really want to check that out and see what that's like, because Hugh Grant apparently is phenomenal in that. And also, like, the whole premise of that is he gets some like Christians stuck in his house and he tortures them. Like, yeah.
Oh well, that's right up your alley.
I was like, I could have wrote this script. Did I? Am I in this movie?
Well, if you don't get a chance to watch Heretic, you could always watch Venom: The Last Dance. That's available.
I saw that. I'm good though, so that's fine. I don't.
You saw the other ones, right?
I have.
Oh, you gotta complete the trilogy.
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I do not. No, I don't. One day I will though. Like I will break down and be like, "Fuck, turn it on." And just be like, "Eddie," I'm like, "Oh fuck me. Well, what am I doing?"
Eddie,
I'm not.
I love you, Eddie.
I'm not paying. I'm not. I refuse. I'm not spending a single nickel on watching any of those movies. All right, that's it for us. We will be back next week. Later, guys.
See ya.